Good news guys, Si here, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking CBD oil. Let's go. Here we go, Cannery CBD oil drops. Firstly, thanks to the guys at Cannery for sending me this for testing. I've had this for 2 weeks and I've been exploring the features and benefits of CBD oil. But first of all, for those of you that don't know, what is CBD oil? We need to ask an expert. And what better expert and of course Google. CBD oil is made by extracting CBD from the cannabis plant and then diluting it with a carrier oil like coconut or hemp seed oil. It's gaining momentum in the health and wellness world, with some specific scientific studies confirming it may ease the symptoms of ailments like chronic pain and anxiety. It can also be helped with sleep deprivation from the oracle itself. So does it help with something which is a very anxious and very stressful thing for me, playing golf? All the advice suggests that CBD oil should be taken as a flatline supplement and then topped up as and when you think that anxiety levels will increase. So for me, I followed the guidelines on the Cannery website and I took the CBD oil morning and night. Now in the morning I added a few drops to my morning coffee, which may seem a little odd, but this is what it suggested on the website. Firstly, tasted absolutely fine. There was no ill tasting effect. And at night, I put a few drops under my tongue before I went to bed to help with the sleep side of things. Now, I'm a pretty good sleeper, but I'm not a great waker. I do get up very, very early, but it does take me a while to get going in the morning. And I find it very easy to put things off. Now let's cut to Wednesday morning, where I actually managed to get up and go for a run. Right, so it's Wednesday morning and I've managed to get out for a 20-minute hill sprint run. Whether it's the CBD making me wake up feeling like, I don't know, maybe guilt for not doing enough exercise over the last few months. Maybe I'm just feeling more invigorated. Maybe that impending race at Southwold on the 28th of November is looming large in my brain. But I definitely felt really awake. When I woke up this morning, the first thing was like, oh yes, I need to go for a run. And that's different, if I'm honest. That is different. Normally it's an absolute struggle to get me out of bed. So if this CBD does nothing else but motivate me to get up in the morning and get going, then that's got to be a good thing, right? So yes, there we are, 3 days into taking the CBD, and the first thing that I noticed was that I was waking up really, really nicely. It went through to the week, it carried on taking it morning and night. I managed to play 1 game of golf, and we'll have a look at the heart rate data in a second. And then on Friday morning, I went to my usual basketball. Right then, it's 5:10 on Friday morning. I'm about to go for my weekly basketball run. And I'm going to take some drops just before I play, just to see if it helps level me out, keep me calm out on the court. So far, this week it's been good. I've woken up really nicely, I've slept really nicely. So far, so good. Let's take some drops and let's hope for a few baskets. There we go. I really enjoyed the basketball. It's something fantastic that I do every single week and I shall continue to do so. And as we went into the weekend of the first week of this study, everything was going well. But then on Saturday morning, my son received a positive COVID test. He had no symptoms whatsoever, but we took a regular test because we're going to a family party on the Saturday afternoon, and he came back positive. So off we all go for PCR tests. I'm negative, my wife's negative, my other son is negative, but my eldest son is positive. So therefore 10 days off school, changed my work schedule, changed my golf schedule. But the positive of that was it extended the CBD trial for another week, because I was originally only going to do 1 week. So in the second week, what I experimented with was coming off and on for a few days. So I had 3 days off the CBD oil over the weekend. Now, whether that combined with the added stresses of a positive COVID child, even though he wasn't displaying and continued to display no symptoms whatsoever, the stress levels definitely went up. And then come Tuesday, I carried on. I went back into the cycle of taking CBD oil so that I could prepare myself for my game of golf that I had with my good friend Marcus Lee on Sunday morning. Yes, I got my revenge on Marcus from the beating that him and Glenn gave Adam and myself a few months ago. Super proud to get that. Now, to the all-important heart rate data. Now, I measured the heart rate over 2 rounds of golf prior to the CBD test and then 2 rounds of golf during the CBD testing. So let's have a little look into all of those figures now. So the first heart rate monitor that I conducted was on Suffolk PGA Championships, and you can see that around about 8 o'clock when we teed off, my heart rate got above 100, and it really didn't go below 100 or in the high 90s all the way through the day. There was some peaks in there, but it stayed around 100, went up to 128 there, 122, 124. It really went really high, 127 high peak there. Obviously 36 hole events, and then there was a break for lunch, and then we off we go again in the afternoon, all the way through 100. Much more stressful. 136 there, really high level, so never dropped below 100 beats per minute, basically for the whole round of golf. Crazy. So let's now compare that to Sunday, November the 14th, and you can see my kind of resting around about the high 50s to low 60s, going up around the 75s when I do some activity. And then at 12:30 we hit the golf course. So you can see, here we go, 12:34 tee off time. Creeps up, but can you see this playing the game? Not in the hundreds, in the 80s and 90s. Definitely some peaks where it does creep over 100, 122 moment there, and that's probably when I made something that you'll see in the video when it comes out, the full length video. But you can see definitely below 100 for the whole of the afternoon. And then when we finish the golf and back home, we're back to the sort of 60s and 70s, which would be my normal resting rate. Just for one final comparison, we've got that basketball adventure where I felt nice and calm, but you can clearly see 5:30 when we kicked off the basketball, my heart rate was well up in the 119s, 120s. But that's no more stressful on my heart than it is to play golf without the CBD oil. Really interesting. There you go, CBD oil definitely worked for me. It definitely kept my heart rate under 100 beats per minute while I was on the golf course, which was different to what I saw in the 2 times I tested my heart rate beforehand, before taking it. I definitely didn't peak as high. Now, obviously the Suffolk PGA Championships were the most stressful thing I've done, but equally the game with Marcus playing alternate shot left and right-handed, video to come on that fully shortly, was also very stressful. And I definitely found that it kept me a little bit more level. It put me to sleep easier in the evening. I woke up fresher in the morning, and whether that's placebo or not, and what the percentage is of placebo or not, I don't really care. I will continue to use the CBD drops whenever I feel that anxiety and sleep deprivation is something that I'm struggling with, and I will continue to have it in my golf bag to take a few drops before I play golf, because why not? The whole point to all of this is if it does make you feel better, even if there isn't any scientific basis, if you feel that it works for you, continue doing it. That is sage, good advice for anything in life. So there we go. Another quick episode of Project Left. My left-handed journey continues. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Loads of fun stuff coming up through the winter. CBD oil, definitely worth a try. If you haven't already, hit the old subscribe button if you do enjoy our content down at PGA Life 365, and we'll see you down here on the channel next time. Bye bye.